Good morning, viewers. Hello and welcome to the Morning News Show, where we bring you the latest headlines and insightful stories to kickstart your day. I'm Kuhina Sharma and you are watching CNN News 18. First up, on top of this bulletin, we're tracking some massive developments coming in from the US Supreme Court, where the US Supreme Court has now denied Thahavvur Rana's emergency stay application, moving him closer to the extradition to India for his role in the 2008 Mumbai attacks. His attorney now appeals to the Chief Justice Roberts. These are the latest inputs that we're tracking from the ground, where in a massive development, the US Supreme Court has now denied Thahavvur Rana's emergency stay application, paving the way for his extradition to India to face trial for his alleged role in 2008 Mumbai terror attacks. Now remember, viewers, we will try and understand what are the implications of this stance of the US Supreme Court. But US Supreme Court's denial of Thahavvur Rana's emergency stay application brings India one step definitely closer to extraditing the accused mastermind behind the devastating 2008 Mumbai attacks. Rana's attorney has now filed an appeal to Chief Justice Roberts in last-ditch effort to prevent his client's extradition. Now, joining us on the broadcast is our colleague Siddhant Mishra for a better perspective into the entire situation. A very good morning, Siddhant. Siddhant, what more details are we gathering on this front to begin with?
Well, Kuhina, Thahavvur Rana had already exhausted all his legal remedies, perhaps in the month of January itself. And in fact, right after him exhausting all legal options available for him, the US government, the president itself, President Trump, gave green signal for his extradition. But yesterday, in fact, on Thursday, we got to know that there is some more options which perhaps his legal team is looking at to get his extradition stay. Now, what basis, we really don't have full information about it. But now we are getting to know that that one particular last request, which was made by Thahavvur Rana's legal team in the US Supreme Court, has been denied. Now, Rana is going to be extradited to India. In fact, last I spoke to senior official here in New Delhi about his extradition, I was told by them that the logistical angle, both sides are in touch as far as the logistics, etc. are concerned. And maybe in next few weeks, Rana could be in India. But this conversation I had with a senior official in New Delhi before this last request for a stay that Rana made in US Supreme Court. Now we're getting to know that this request has also been denied. Rana fought a very long legal battle, perhaps, to get himself stopped from getting extradited to India. In 2018, he was provincially detained, 2019, I beg your pardon, after the request from the Indian government to US government. He was released on the humanitarian ground. He is a convict for planning attacks in Denmark. He was released on the humanitarian ground by the US authorities at that time. When Indian government got to know about it, they intervened. They asked US government to re-arrest Rana. He was re-arrested. Perhaps from then, his extradition process got started. So from the lower courts, Ninth Circuit Court to the US Supreme Court, Rana has tried his luck everywhere, perhaps, coming up with different grounds to stop his extradition. We have also accessed the court papers of Thahavvur Rana, in which he's also, calling his friend David Coleman Headley a liar. In some of the court papers, he's saying that he should not be extradited to India because under the case in which he is not convicted in US, how can he be again put on trial for the similar offense in India? Perhaps these were his arguments, his legal team's arguments in US courts. But US government and especially Donald
Siddhant,
Trump,
I'm so sorry to interrupt you halfway, but joining us on the broadcast is Ujjwal Nigam. A very good morning, Mr. Nigam. Mr. Nigam, in a last-ditch effort to prevent his client's extradition, Rana's attorney has now filed an appeal to Chief Justice Roberts. What are the potential legal challenges that Rana's defense team might end up facing in India, and what are the implications that we are looking at right now?
See, once the judge of the Supreme Court of US has finally rejected the petition making certain bald allegations against the so-called atrocities on Pak Muslims. Now, I don't think that he will have any option, though his lawyer has made clear that we are going to approach to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of US. But in my opinion, there is no merit in such type of allegation because the US administration has taken a decision to extradite Singh, and there is no substantial proof that whatever the allegation which leveled. The other factor, most important, is that I have conducted a trial of 26 November in Mumbai, wherein the Pak national Ajmal Amir Kassab was tried in open court by the Indian judiciary. And while conducting the trial against the Ajmal Kassab, that state trial was conducted in the presence of the media, and even the Pakistan did not raise any voice about the so-called allegation leveled by Tahoor Rana. So I think absolutely there is no substance merit in the said allegation of Tahoor Rana, and I'm very optimistic that this matter will be decided in our favor, and the Supreme Court Chief Justice will not entertain. That is my reading after considering the whole stand taken by Tahoor Rana.
Right, Mr. Nigam, as the special public prosecutor who led the prosecution in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks case, how do you foresee this entire extradition process taking place and unfolding in a matter of next few weeks?
I'm now sure that Tahoor Rana will be extradited very shortly because the last attack she is trying to save from the legal punishment by the Indian court, he is desperately trying. This attempt, this desperate attempt would convince me that absolutely there is no merit. On the contrary, the US President, Mr. Donald Trump, has categorically said that they don't want to keep any bad element on the land of their soil.
Right, Mr. Ujjwal Nigam, thank you so much for joining us on CNN News 18 and giving us a better perspective into the entire situation. Now, Ananya Bhatnagar, our legal correspondent, joins us on the broadcast. A very good morning, Ananya. Ananya, what are the potential legal challenges that Rana's defense team might end up facing in India as well? While we already talked to Ujjwal Nigam, who's the special public prosecutor of the entire case, he says shortly we will be seeing Rana being extradited back to India.
Well, definitely, this was the last nail in the coffin as far as the U.S. Supreme Court is concerned. And now, in fact, his mercy petition has also, the emergency stay application has also been turned down by, in fact, the U.S. Supreme Court. And, there were various grounds that were raised by Tahoor Rana in his application, clearly going on to say that, he might be tortured in India. He might be made, in fact, a key person of national punishment because of the 26/11 riots. And also, since he's of the Pakistani origin and a Muslim as well, and blaming the Indian government for being autocratic and something that is against the Muslims of the world, he had said that he will be tortured in the highest level, and that his extradition should be stayed. This last nail in the coffin has also been put in, and definitely he moves very, very close to his extradition, and he might be brought to India anytime soon. The U.S. Supreme Court has completely cleared the way. The emergency stay application has already been turned down. He's already faced a lot of setback from the U.S. Supreme Court and the U.S. courts as well, and definitely the diplomatic pressure and, in fact, the kind of relationship that India at this particular point of time enjoys with, the USA is something, that could make all of this much more faster and much more quicker as far as Tahoor Rana's extradition to India is concerned.
Right, Ananya, thank you so much for bringing in all those details. I'd like to thank Siddhant Mishra, who also joined us on the broadcast to give us a better perspective. But now we are swiftly shifting